Still poor? Let me remind you. That's the air right there. That means you got it. Everybody got it. Even the richest person on the planet got the same air like you do. So if you think you're poor, you're out of your mind. Let's talk about riches. I got air. I breathe. What makes you think I want to fight for somebody else's air? Because it's right here. It's in abundance. So my lungs are doing the job on their own. My brain is doing the job on their own. Because the air I'm breathing right now is within my space. So why do I want to take somebody's air or control somebody else's space or the land on the space on which they stand on if I'm breathing freely on my own? If we're in a position where we're gasping for air, which is the richest, I would have to come for your space if there's no air. But source being so great, there's air all around us. So you're breathing comfortably. I'm breathing comfortably. And that's the most essential you need every second, every moment. It's to breathe. So you feel comfortable in your space. You're not bugging nobody for their air. So now anything else added to that, it's a blessing or it's material, non-importance, secondary. Because the main priority is to breathe and sustain and hold yourself. So if anybody wants to do anything they want to do, it's their choice. And if I don't want to do what you don't want to do, can I have the choice? Because the universal source has a way of giving us all the same free space. So how do we come into this point of view in this world where there's borderlines, nations divided into pieces? And somebody's controlling it. And when you look at the source, it all goes back to the same government system all around the world. Why don't we have that space? Why don't you have that same space to breathe just like you need to? And they say, hey, this other part of the land is for the rest of the people who don't want to think like this or do like this. And that's their universe. That's their planet. That's their land. That's their space. Why does this all belong to a government, or you have to belong to some sort of community or some sort of religion? What is that about? When this is free. So if they figure out a way to make this pay for itself, then there will be no even room for the homeless. Think about this. A lot of people expect me to react to certain things. I don't react. I'm experiencing this. You can sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. You can kill whoever you want to kill. You want to love whoever you want to love. That's your choice. I'm not emotionally attached like that. I'm emotionally attached by my responsibility with you on the journey. That's our responsibility as we are all going through a journey. So if I meet you, I'm responsible for your journey because I met you. So if you hit me up, I have to respond some way, somehow, even if I'm not comfortable. But I learned how to buy time to be able to respond to people when I have to respond to them, because they expect you to respond, but they don't want to respond back to you when you need them. So it comes back to territories. People want your space. They want your mind, your time, your purpose in this life for their purpose. But have you discovered your purpose? Because you're breathing and that air is for your purpose. So once you figure out your purpose, you feel free, not guilty about walking away from any subject, any position, any situation, and actually feeling free, knowing that source is with you if you're doing source work. Right? But if you're not doing source work, then don't expect source to help you, because we don't know where this air come from. And for all we know, it could be man-made. It could be in... Science couldn't break this down. If they did, it would have. And if they did, you will probably have to pay for this air, which we pay for in the house, because it says food, clothing, and shelter. That's what it told us. But food, clothing, and shelter. The shelter is the houses, which is the mortgages that we pay, the rents, the housing fees that we pay. The food is the land that they've confiscated inside the grocery store that you buy. Right? So food and the clothing is right here in these buildings that we're living in. These jailhouses they build everywhere. Everybody live next door to everybody else. You smell the food, and right. So, what is riches? The first riches is the air. You can't cover that up. You need to breathe the air. It's your riches. After you finish and you're comfortable, you've come to your senses, you think about extra stuff, what is important and what is not, what is material and what's not. And material comes from matter. Matter is mother. Mother is matter. But that's a whole new conversation. But I just got hit, and I realized if I don't start living now, I will never live for the future. If I don't start speaking now, I will never speak for the future, because I'm in this moment. And if I wait 10, 20, 30 years to speak my mind, because there's so much I want to say, but I can't say because you and I know we're being censored. So I'm hoping that the smart ones who are listening to what I'm doing right now and they're saying can wrap their minds around it, and it's documented for the future and the future beyond. So when they come in, they look at this video, because just like I don't know who you are, you don't know who I am, we connected some way by the clouds. So before the internet and all that stuff was created, that means something existed within the clouds. So if we're in a time of reset, I believe that people left us messages and we never got them, and this time around we want to make sure that they got it, because we came this far. So are you rich? So it's being so great. You're breathing, so you're rich.
Hello.
We all rich. Because this journey, I'm witnessing next door neighbor journey. And you're witnessing it right now. That's the essence. That's the moment in which we're living. New life. All on the planet. All through the journey. So think about this moment for a minute. Ask me, or ask yourself, are you rich? More than rich. Because nothing can be done without the air. None of it. So if they find a way to confiscate your air, which you already have, which is the housing in North America, but in some hot climate places they can't, because the people enjoy the weather as that, so they call them lazy. And those leaders over there, you know what they do? They play another role by giving them no jobs, teaching them nothing, not elevating them, so everybody else have to cross another border to go into the next place, hoping to see the paradise on earth. So we come to North America thinking there's a paradise on earth. And if the nations in which we were all originally from were taking care of themselves, or being responsible to give the people jobs so they can have money to be able to afford a little bit of that matter, the matter or the material, we will not even be here. But we all took the trip and all fell for the tricks of the matrix. And now here we are. It's a mixture of everything else. On one side, which is supposed to be the heavens, and the North Americans, the Europeans, but in the Africans and the Asians, it seems to be oppression and struggle because the government keeps it that way. So you got two government systems playing the same role, just different faces, different flags, different, but the same. So are you rich? Yes, you are. You can survive in any part of the world and be rich. You can feel rich in your bedroom when you have $0. You understand what I'm saying? So, with that being said, you see the joy going on? When I hear these things, I gotta speak, because these are children who are innocent of the future. But their future is what I'm speaking of right now, and no one knows. And here comes a loved one to visit a family. You hear that? Right? So here we are, responsible for caring, sharing, supporting, innovating, motivating for the next generation. So are you rich? They are rich. They breathe in the same air as you. The richest man couldn't even leave the planet without the same air as you. Even when they go to space and they claim they're faking that space stuff, you see them with their helmets on trying to get the same air as you. So you're blessed. Represent. Make sure styles forever. Many never came this far, and we did. So let's keep the fight going. It's not a fight. Let's keep the games going. It's fun. You're winning. You're breathing. You're rich. Remember that.